All right, welcome to Guarantee News. My name is Garrett Sims. Like always, if you're watching this for a second, minute, the whole video, I appreciate it. Please subscribe to GS Studios. Please like this video. Please send it to your friends and tell them to watch. Now let's get straight to the point of this video. We are going to be talking about the arrest of, let me see, let me pronounce it right, Mahmoud Khalil. And I wanted to pronounce that right because I thought it was Muhammad, but then I watched videos and like looked up something about looked up just while looking up about it. It's not Muhammad. I think it's Mahmoud Khalil. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. But this is what this video is going to be about. And basically, if you haven't heard about it, this is a man that graduated from Columbia last year during all the Palestinian protest where this happened at IU where I graduated, all the protests. He was arrested by Trump or ICE last week, and I'm saying Trump because it's the Trump administration doing this, for basically they're saying that he was protesting in support of pro-Hamas, which is the terrorist group that did the attack in October. I don't know how long it's been now. Let me go back. I think it's important to know that. When was the Hamas attack? October 7th of 2023. So it's been over a year. All right. So Hamas, the group that did that attack on Israel and has started this war and has started everything that I'm sure you know of that's happened since then. They're saying that in Colombia he was protesting in support of Hamas, not just Palestine. So we're going to get into this. We're going to get into kind of the conversation that it started over free speech in America. He has a green card. We're going to get into what that is. He is married to an American. So we're going to get into all that. Then we're going to go and read or go over, really skim, and I'm just going to talk two articles that show different sides of this. So like I always say with Guarantee News, if you only want to hear your side and nothing else, this isn't the video for you. If you want to hear both sides and me give my opinion and where I lay, then this is a great video for you. Now let's get to it. So the first thing with this is, or one of the first things that came into my head, or one of the first questions when watching this was, what exactly is a green card? And this is April 29th of 2024. I thought this was like that video down there. I thought that was like not that long ago. Yeah, April 29th of 2024. I'm tweaking. Okay, so yeah, I was thinking where or what exactly is a green card? I know what it is vaguely and I've heard about it, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So I was Googling that, and this is an article I found that connects straight to Muhammad's case. So what rights do green card holders have? Immigration experts answer questions around Muhammad Khalil's case. Nicole Brown Chow, sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. This is a CBS News article. So let's get to it. So the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, a green card holder and former Columbia University student involved in pro-Palestinian campus protests in 2024, is raising questions about the rights of permanent residents in the United States, and it's raising questions about like free speech. What are people allowed to say? Green card holders have all the same rights as American. Like, we'll get to this in this article. All right. So Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arrested Khalil, a lawful U.S. resident, married to an American citizen. This just kind of threw me off, like married to an American citizen, because I thought if you like married an American, you like became American. That was like a whole thing. So that was like the one that threw me off. The green card one, I had to go into more to see how threw off I was, and we'll get to that in this article. In New York on March 8th, he is currently being held in Louisiana. So that was March 8th, so 8 days ago, about a week ago. He has not been charged with a crime. The Trump administration argues it can deport him on foreign policy grounds. We'll get to those foreign policy grounds. What is a green card? A green card, or a permanent resident card, allows non-citizens to live and work permanently in the United States. Individuals can be eligible for a green card through family, employment, refugee status, and other reasons. I didn't know it was that permanent. I might be dumb for not knowing that, but I didn't know. Most green cards are valid for 10 years and then need to be renewed, similar to how U.S. citizens need to renew their passports, explained David Leopold, an immigration law expert and partner at UB Greensfielder. The card expires, but the residency doesn't expire, he said, adding if a card is not renewed, there could be ramifications because you have to maintain the registration, but the status itself never expires, assuming the person complies with the law. So it sounds like one of those things like, I kind of thought like a driver's license. Like once you get it, if it expires, you're not going to immediately be in like shit water. Like you just got to go get it renewed, but you still have a driver's license. You know what I'm saying? So very permanent, very, very permanent. There are a number of reasons why an individual could lose their green card and be deported. How can a green card be revoked? Okay, that's the main question. He has a green card. It sounds like this is very permanent. They're trying to revoke it. What are they using to try to revoke it, right? This is my train of thought. This is what I wanted to see as I'm reading this and when I was searching. Any green card holder can be subject to deportation depending on the situation. Any. That's a major part. Most cases occur because a green card holder commits a crime, including violent crimes, marriage fraud. So you're trying to get into the country saying you're married when you're not married. This isn't what they're doing to MK. I'm going to call him MK. Just for the fact that I could be saying his name wrong. Controlled substance abuse and any other offenses. If they are convicted, typically after they serve their sentence in the U.S., they would face removal proceedings that involved going before an immigration judge, Leopold said. So basically, you serve your time in America and you get kicked out. A person, and this is for violent crimes, fraud, using drugs, yeah. A person can also lose their permanent resident status because of substantiated charges of immigration fraud in the immigration process. To me, that's basically while you're trying to get your green card or trying to get into the country, you lie about something, and we catch that you lie about something that if we had known beforehand, we wouldn't have let you into the country. That's what I take that. Substantiated charges of immigration fraud in the immigration process. You're trying to get into the country and you had fraud. We know you did it. You have to leave. Mercury said people whose, and sorry if I'm saying that name wrong, people whose green cards are being revoked are typically giving a notice to appear before an immigration judge. I'll just say right now, MK was arrested and he was just taken in. He was not giving a notice to appear before a judge, which is something that, we talked about in that ICE detention video that I had a couple of days ago that was in Indy. If you haven't watched it, where they're not giving reasons why they're arresting you. They're just knowing. And in his case, it's easy to know because he was the face of protest, which I'll get into later. But it was easy to find. So once they know where you are, they're not really giving a reason. They're just taking you, which is, I don't like. I will say I think you should give a reason. I don't like that you just take them away and it's nothing. It's just kind of like we don't have to give you a reason. They have the opportunity to either contest why they should be allowed to keep their status or concede that their status can be taken away, especially if it's a law that, like, usually when these things happen, they're given a notice and then they can contest. Lawful permanent residents can't be stripped of their status in the United States without any due process. So they can, but they need the due process. And one of the big arguments is MK's not getting this due process. The severity of the crime may affect the judge's decision. This basically is saying, like, this one is basically saying that, like, if you have like a violent crime, then you are probably going to get taken out versus a non-violent crime, you won't get taken out. And it's a case-by-case basis, which is what I was getting into with that video I referred to earlier. It was like violent criminal versus criminal. It brings up that, like, where the judge is taking taking that into account. The procedure for how a green card holder status could be revoked is set by the Immigration and Nationality Act. So, all right, and then let's get into this. The judge would have to decide whether the person's conviction is outweighed by other considerations such as community ties, family ties, or their work in the U.S. So this is basically saying if you have a green card and you're you're expected to be like an upstanding member of society. You're supposed to have a job, not supposed to, but like it looks like they want you to have a job, be involved in your community, like just be, pay your taxes, maybe probably have a family, like America, whole family thing. Like they are wanting you to be an upstanding citizen. And if you do that, you basically are a U.S. citizen. You won't lose it. But if you do a crime, it's a case-by-case basis. If you do a violent crime, it sounds like you're out of there. Depending on outside of that, if you do a crime, it's up to the judge and probably the administration that is in and what's going on in the world. Lights with Trump and everything going on right now with that, right? Under the Act, green card holders do not need to be convicted of a crime to be deported. Jacqueline Kelly Winmere, an immigration law professor at Cornell Law School, told the AP. For example, if there are reasonable grounds to believe they are engaged in or likely to engage in terrorist activities, they could be deported, she said. Another reason a green card holder could lose their status is if they leave the United States for too long. We're not going to get into that, because that has nothing to do with this. So, and it should say this, okay? Yep. Green card versus citizenship. A green card holder is not a citizen. They become a naturalized citizen. To become a naturalized citizen, they would need to apply and meet various requirements. Do green card holders have the same rights as U.S. citizens? Everyone in the United States is protected by the U.S. Constitution. This includes green card holders, visa holders, and undocumented immigrants. But, unlike citizens, green card holders are susceptible to being removed if they violate their status in the U.S. And I want to say, and I don't... Let's see. March 11th, Yeah. Okay. And I just want to get to the point because it's the article's taking longer to get to it than when I read it. This is what he's being charged with: is the Immigration and Nationality Act. And let's go back here. This was really important. Okay. Let's see. Under the act, the Immigration and Nationality Act, green card holders do not need to be convicted of a crime to be deported. Jacqueline Kelly. If there are reasonable grounds to believe they are engaged in or likely to engage in terrorist activities, they could be deported. This is what MK is being charged with. Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary for the U.S. under Trump, she talked about this. A government document obtained by CBS News shows this is the provision the Trump administration is using to justify Khalil's arrest. Okay. White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt alleged on March 11th that Khalil has distributed pro-Hamas flyers. Hamas, a U.S. designated terrorist group that has governed the Gaza Strip since 2007, is responsible for the deadly October 7th, 2023 act on Israel that sparked the war in Gaza. Dang, I can't read. All right, I wanted to get through this because I wanted to just get to the point of why are they charging him? What is this law? And does it make sense? Is this something that he did? This is how I feel about it. Simple. And then we'll get to the two articles that show the different sides and we're going to them, right? If this is, there's three things with this, right? There's three things with this for me. One, if Mahmoud Khalil, which is a guy that was very involved, he's Palestinian, he's very involved in pro-Palestinian protests that were going on at his school of Columbia. He was being interviewed. He was on camera on CNN. He was like a face of pro-Palestinian protest. If he was protesting for Palestinians' right to their land, Palestinians' right to live, Palestinians' right to not be ethnically cleansed, for their children to not be bombed without much regard by Americans, help, like if they're fighting for if they're protesting pro-Palestinians and this is happening to him and this is why he's getting arrested, this is not right. This is not right. It's simple as that. It's simply not right. This is insane. If he was, that's one. Two, if he was leading these pro-Palestinian protests at his school and at these protests that are huge, I'm assuming, because they were everywhere. They were even huge at my school, IU. So if they were huge, and in those protests, there were people that were handing out pro-Hamas flyers and were saying, yeah, with the Palestinians, also to Hamas as well, to fuck up the Israelis and everything like that. Well then, and they're using Khalil as the person that they're going to arrest because he's the face of this. He's the one out in front of it, but he's not supporting it. But something that he did in around what he did, people were doing this and it leaked in, but basically bad apples in the apple patch, whatever you want to say. That is also fucked up. And I think that's scary. That's the point where I think people should be scared because on the news, this is being, well, I'm not going to get into that, but that's where I think it's kind of scary where it's like, dang, they're kind of going for everyone. And that's where I asked the conversation of with people that were voting for Trump. And one of the big things was immigration and to get these people out of here because they're dangerous and to get these people out of here. And I don't mean to say these people, I'm talking from their perspective, but to get these people out of here because they're taking jobs, they're dangerous, they're hurting people. Why are you going for people that are seem to be pillars of their community, trying to be a dentist, married, trying to start a family? Why are these the people you're targeting? On top of violent criminals, why are you targeting them? And especially this one's worse because unlike the ICE detention video that I showed that happened in Indiana, he has a green card. He's married to an American. Like this is even more aggressive. Now let's get to the third one. If he was doing protests that were pro-Palestinian and also pro-Hamas and in support of Hamas, well then I think all of this is not right. And this is all of this conversation and posting on Instagram stories and everyone being angry and it being like a news story, I don't think it's that much of a news story. Because if he's handing pro-terrorist propaganda out at an American school and you are a green card holder that wants to be in America, you can protest America, and that is a college campus. And part of college campuses that makes them beautiful is that you're having a flow of ideas. You're going to talk to people you disagree with, whether you want to or not. You have a class. You have to take a class. You have to hear people you don't disagree with. You want to get with a girl or a boy that disagrees with you, but they're good looking. So you're gonna listen to what they have to. College is a place for free forming ideas. It's a place for protest. It's a place for disagreement. It's a place for art. It's a place for STEM. It's a place for everything. Like college is cool for that reason. So you should be able to protest. protest, whether you're American or I guess he would be, whether you have a green card or not. If you're able to go on college and go on campus and be an American in that way, I think you have the right to protest. You do not have the right to do that in response or in favor of a terrorist group, especially if you have a green card. And that is what this has. Like, that's what they're charging with. Now, that being said, I think it's cut and dry in my head. Stop me if I'm wrong. You can comment here in the comments. If he was doing this, if he was handing out pro-Hamas flyers, I think we would have pictures of him. They would be on the news. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary. I'm not going to show her, but we're going to talk about her a lot just over Guaranteed News because she's the press secretary. But if they had that, they would be showing that. Like, here, they're Hamas flyers. So it does, I believe it's the second one, that there were people at those protests that were probably supporting Hamas that he didn't agree with and that he wasn't actively speaking up for, but they were there. So then it becomes where you're the face, we can get to you easily, you're all over the place, and you're doing this, and we're going to go, and we're going to find you because we know where you're at easily. We're going to target you is the word I'm looking for. I think it's that one, honestly. And that's the part where I think it gets scary, because I have to ask, like with a lot of things, and it's even this with tariffs, and I'll have a tariff video, like to the people who voted for Trump, and one of the reasons you like Trump is because you felt like immigration was a problem. There were too many people coming into the country illegally. This was a problem. They're violent. They're taking jobs. Like, if that's one of the reasons you vote for him, okay. Immigration is a problem, and we shouldn't just be letting people in the country illegally. And then when they come in the country illegally, we shouldn't have like a conversation in this country that, oh yeah, they deserve to be here. No, we should give them a way to be here legally. Until then, there has to be provisions and things. That's a conversation. But the conversation of like, oh, they can just come in and nothing happens is okay. If that's your argument, I can stand with you. But now that we're in it for not even 100 days, we're coming up on 91st 100 days of Trump's presidency. It's clear that he is trying to meet a number of people that he wants deported. And in that number, he's going for a lot of people that could be questionable to needing to be deported, and people that you could say are the perfect people, the people that we would want, the people that you'd want to put on a pedestal of being able to come into the country. Now, if they came in illegally, that's a different story as well, but it still is a question of like, these people are also, they have families, they're not violent, they work. But then you have someone like MK, where it's like it becomes even scarier. It does become scarier for all immigrants. And I'm gonna get to a part in another article. We're gonna move on. It becomes scarier to where it's like, dang, you can be taken away if it just seems like you've ever said anything that's not 1,000% with what Trump is wanting, and they can make it that you aren't pro-American. So that is scary. That's my opinion on that. Let's get to a couple articles. I'm gonna just skim through this one because there is a part in this. So exclusive. So this is a Reuters, probably pronouncing it wrong. Exclusive. Wife of detained Palestinian Columbia student says she was naive to believe he was safe from arrest. Yeah, I agree. Because this is one of the things that the Trump administration said. Like, we are taking away, they were not happy with these protests. We're going to find people that were in these protests, and we're going to, and they will be deported. But it's like where they're starting, like someone like it, again, if we find out that he was given the pro-Hamas, and I need to see the proof, I need to see it, because I think if it was existed, it would be there to see, because it's the world we live in. We would see, okay, he was here doing this. I've seen videos of him talking. He seems well-spoken. He seems like he was pro-Palestinian. He seems like, you know what I'm saying? He seems like he should not be going through this at all. But if the proof is there, then we'll come back and it will come on Guaranteed News and talk about it at that moment. But yeah, let me stay on point because we're 18 minutes in. We're going to be quick. But yeah. She was a little naive. Let's get to this. This is a picture of her, but this is crazy. So, let's see. 2 days before U.S. agents arrested Mahmoud Khalil, the Columbia University student and Palestinian activist asked his wife if she knew what to do if immigration agents came to the door. Noor Abdallah, Khalil's wife of more than 2 years, said she was confused. As a legal permanent resident of the U.S., Shirley Khalil did not have to worry about that, she recalls telling him. I didn't take him seriously. Clearly, I was naive. And I mean, yeah, I guess if you're having pro-Palestinian, Yeah, if you know it's the tone of the world right now, if you're having and you were the leader of pro-Palestinian protest, and if you possibly know, I mean, who knows what he knows? If he knows that there are people there that were pro-Hamas and there's nothing you can do to stop that, or there is something you can do to stop that, and maybe you didn't stop your right. There's so many nuances with this. Yeah, he had a right to probably be like, what should we do, or be prepared for this. He definitely had a right. He definitely had a right. U.S. Department of Homeland Security agents handcuffed her husband on Saturday in the lobby of their university-owned apartment building in Manhattan. Khalil's arrest is one of the first efforts by President Donald Trump, a Republican who returned to the White House in January, to fulfill his promise to seek deportation to some foreign students involved in the pro-Palestinian protest movement. That's what's scary. If you're involved in the pro-Palestinian protest movement, I don't think you should be deported. If you're involved in the pro-Hamas protest movement, well then what the fuck? That's all I'll say about that. Earlier on Wednesday, Abdallah, a 28-year-old dentist in New York, sat in the front row of Manhattan courtroom as Khalil's lawyers argued to a federal judge that he has been arrested in retaliation of his outspoken advocacy against Israel's military assault on Gaza following the militant group's Hamas October 23 attack. They told the judge that this was a violation of Khalil's constitutional rights. Okay. So he's a kind, genuine soul. Advocacy from campus to jail. There's been protests all over Colombia. I wanted to just go into this a little bit to show this article showing him as a human being, as a person, someone that's married to someone that's about to be a potential father, and someone that basically is being arrested, from what they're saying, for being pro-Palestinian and for saying that Israelis shouldn't be able to just bomb mass places with babies and kids, and America shouldn't be funding it and supporting it, and which way you go. That's, it's hard to say. It's hard to go. I'd like to hear the argument against that. I guess the argument against that specifically, not if he was actually handing out flyers, not if he is someone that's a criminal, but this man right here, this article we just seen, we already talked about it. So we're exit out of this. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Fox News article. Let's see. I have it pulled up. Yep. And this is Fox News just going over actor Michael Rappaport talking about the situation right on a podcast that he has. Let's show a picture of him. M-I-C-H Rappaport. Okay. Actor, comedian. If you've seen him before, he talks about sports. Who cares what an actor thinks at a time like this? Understandable, but it goes to the other side so much. I feel like I had to put it because it's like wild. This one, I don't agree with this other side. It's way to the other side. Just gonna say. So, actor, can you guys see this? No. Let's go closer. All right. Actor Michael Rappaport. He's Jewish. Well, not obviously, but I say obviously because the way he stands so much on business for Israel. An outspoken supporter of Israel. Or maybe he's not. I could be wrong about that. If I'm wrong about that, my apologies. An outspoken supporter of Israel gloated on Friday about the recent detention of terrorist groupie Mahmoud Khalil, who is allegedly a leader of anti-Israel protests and encampments on the Columbia University campus in New York City for months. So he was allegedly a leader of anti-Israel protests. See, anti-Israel protest is different from pro-Palestinian protest. Words are important. Khalil, a Palestinian raised in Syria and a permanent U.S. resident, was arrested by U.S. Immigration and Customs. We already talked about this. So let's get into it. Good, you fuck, Rappaport shouted after laughing at the camera in a clip from the Ian Rappaport Stereo podcast that was posted on social media. Let's see if we have that clip. Okay, no. I hate when they link to something that is just like, nah, that's just BS. This is Mahmoud Khalil, who's been arrested, detained. I believe he's in Louisiana. I hope it's hot as fuck in his prison. I don't know if it's super hot yet in Louisiana. I believe he's in Louisiana. I hope it's hot as fuck down there, Rappaport continued. Him and his 8 months pregnant wife. This woman had the audacity to put out a statement. Khalil Muhammad's wife had the audacity to put out a statement and say that her husband was kidnapped. You dirty, rotten animal, you. This is kind of crazy. And from all reports of who he is, this response to him is hateful, scary, over the top. Like, I would like to see an argument for how you think this is reasonable. But where's he obviously thinks this guy, Michael Rappaport, obviously thinks this guy is 100% pro-Hamas, anti-Israel, Hamas, kill all Jewish people, and nothing about what you've seen anywhere has proof of him doing that. it's gray as fuck if he did that. And once that gray gets blacker and whiter, it will be easier to see like how to feel on that, and I'll talk about it. But I'm leaning way more on the fact that he was probably pro-Palestinian all the way, and he's being like kind of targeted because he's the face. That's like calling her a dirty rotten animal, a pregnant woman. He was saying he was kidnapped. I mean that's the word. That's a word you could use. If he was, and they're not giving any reason. That's why you use those words, kidnapped, because it's not like, hey. And I've seen the video. I'm not gonna show the video, not because it's a big deal. I mean, I guess I can show it, but they basically are like, they say don't arrest, and he's like, I'm not resisting. Where his wife is like, I'm not resisting. If you do anything against the police, that's not 1,000% like, yeah, just take me in, please, please, please. You get a resisting arrest. I don't like that. Like, if you do anything, like, why am I being, you damn near can say, why am I being arrested while they're grabbing your arms and kind of let them take your arm back, but not just go like this and turn around, and it's resisting arrest. Like, if they grab your arm and you don't just go like this, they damn near can give you a resist arrest. It's wild. It's damn near wild. So that's why I feel like she was like, yeah, he's not resisting, right? And then they kind of just take him like, there's no, like, why is he being arrested? What's going on? There's no reason given. There's no reason given, which I've said on this and continue to say on this. That does bother me, that they're just pretty much, if we have the tip, you're going to go and sit in a detention center until we find out if you're legal or not. Where I think it should be more on the other hand of, we have a tip, we got to confirm this. And if the way to confirm this is to talk to you, ask for paperwork, it goes from there. But you have to, I feel like, confirm. You know, you can't just take people in detention centers across the state, across the country. Where, I mean, they're doing it, but I think that's scary. That's one of the things where I say that's where it gets scary, the way they're going about arresting people. Arresting these people that they're saying are either with terrorists or immigrants, illegal, not immigrants, because immigrants, and I think this is important to make this, not immigrants. Immigrant. I know I spelled that wrong. A person who comes to live permanently in a foreign country. He's a recent immigrant from the Eastern Germany, so not an immigrant. That's not the word. And let's look up these, because we're going to be covering this all over the Guarantee News. A person who moves from one place to another, especially in order to find work or better living conditions. So migrants, I would say. Trying to arrest migrants, illegal migrants, not legal immigrants. People trying to live in a different country permanently. So this is very extreme. Indeed, Khalil is in Louisiana after ICE agents arrested him at his university-owned apartment. Khalil allegedly played a major role in the protest against Israel at Columbia University. Again, not against Israel. I think it's different than pro-Palestinian, so which one is it is what I want to know. I think he was pro-Palestinian. His wife released a statement saying Khalil was kidnapped from their home. You have the audacity, the balls, the gall to use the word kidnapped when there are 59 hostages who have been kidnapped for 520 plus days. And you're talking about your fucking husband who's a terrorist groupie, a wannabe terrorist who's here in this country on a college visa. And then he had the honor and the privilege of getting a green card, celebrating the terrorists of Hamas who literally have stolen property, kidnapped victims, Rappaport said. Noting that several hostages are from areas surrounding Columbia University, such as Brooklyn and New Jersey. This paragraph is, I guess, all you need to get to. This is insane. If he wasn't a terrorist groupie, a wannabe terrorist, if he is, it's still kind of harsh. But I guess not. Like I get like being a pro-Israel and everything, and the nuances of that conversation, how you feel that angry. Because for a different conversation, I can get really angry, but this is really bad. Especially with, again, no proof on if he's done that. So I said my opinion on this. I'll say it one last time. If this is what it is, if he is a terrorist groupie and want to be terrorist, and he is here on a college visa wanting to have a better life in America and be an immigrant here in America and live here permanently and be a member of community, but you're also supporting protest for terrorist groups, well then, yeah, I can't really feel bad. But if it's the other way around and he's a pro-Palestinian who is doing his job, or not his job, but his right as an American, then this is scary. And they're targeting him because he was outspoken about it, but they can't find people that maybe were pro-Hamas, that were all these things. And then now this guy is using his platform to just act like this guy, MK. If Rappaport is using his platform to act like Mahmoud Khalil is this type of person when he's not, that's not good. That's scary. It's terrifying. It's dangerous. And it's a conversation that a lot of people are having. And I think until proof comes out that he was pro-Hamas, that we can find this, that he gets his due process and we see it, then I'm going to go on that side of it. But we'll keep covering these stories, and it's going to keep being interesting to see the number of immigrants that are being detained, how they're being detained, and who these people are. And again, I keep using that word immigrants. The amount of illegal migrants and illegal people here. It's going to be interesting to see all of those things, and we'll keep covering it, especially the big stories and the stories in my hometown of Indianapolis, Indiana. All right. If you've watched, thank you for watching. I'm going to give a commercial, right? I'm going to give a commercial. This is a commercial that I think is important, that I think you guys should look into. And that is, let's go to Twitter. That is D Hicks teaching you how to make money, how to trade in the stock market. And I'm going to give you guys, I've been talking about it almost on every episode, DHicks_trades. I'm going to give you a way to, basically make money. That's the easiest way to say it. In this video and on Twitter on GS Studios, I'm going to post the link to getting in the D Hicks Discord. And this link is going to help you in this Discord. Sorry, I'm not going, I'm trying to give like a good newsy thing. Let me just be real. He's basically going on here and teaching you how to play the stock market, but he's also giving you trade. You're paying, it's $99 for one of them, $499 for a different one. And what I'm going to show you in the Discord, if you think that price is high, people are saying they make that money back immediately. They make 2 or 3 months of the highest one in 1 month. He's giving you basically trades with calls. He's giving you calls and puts with the dates, the trades. He's giving you the charts and information. He's confident in these, and he's someone that I can say he's not lying to you. He's not a grifter. He's not trying to take your money. He really does care about making people their money back. He really does care about giving people tools. And with the $499 one, there's one-on-one conversations that he has with you. He takes it into account to make sure that you're making your money back. And that's the DHicks_trade. So go to the comment section of this YouTube video, copy and paste that in to your phone, to your tablet, to wherever, or go to the GS Studios Twitter page, GS Studios. And there, I'm going to be posting not only the link, and let me go to my account. Let's see. Manage account, or do I go home? Would it be home? Where do I go to? Oh, my person. Go to the GS Studios, GSTEWDIOS. I will be posting both of these links and the links to all the articles on this YouTube video, and make you some money. The stock market is tanking, and in the stock market tanking, all I've been seeing on his Discord is people making money. People saying that they have gotten their money back on the Discord, plus some. And that's the thing. Like, he's doing plays that I think will make you money over time. He's doing good plays, bro. He also does the day trade. It's everything, bro. He does the day trades, but it's built on the swing trades where you make money and you get those 100% of your trade back, 100% of what you put in back. He's not doing the 25, 50%. He's doing the 100% and teaching you how to make money as it goes up or makes money as the market goes down. I'm learning about this stuff because it's interesting. This is someone that I can say I think you should be confident in. Another solid call. Let me go down. This was today at 11:57. It's 12:13 and Sunday. Another solid call by J. Coop at INTC. Love how you will mix it up between small, medium, and large caps, which is just large, medium, small companies. Thank you guys so much, which is a big thing with the Discord. These large, small caps, like you don't have to have a lot of money to start. That's why I love it. And another thing, this is Jacob. I'm talking about D Hicks. If you join this Discord, you're not only going to get trades from D Hicks, you're going to get trades from other people with other styles. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. March 13th, a couple days ago, a couple in and out moves last few weeks, and it's kept me green throughout this market that's been down, plus $2,317.16. LGCL was another amazing trade. They made the same trade on the same company, which is also cool. Although I screwed up a bit. I made a move, blah, 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 but oversold, blah, blah. Made $720 on the trade. This is, what is it, plus 31%. This is better than making a thing on if you think Luka Doncic is going to get 30 points. Plus 31% on the trade of what you're putting in. Plus 187%. Plus $2,960. So it's plus 187% of his trade, what he put in, and he got $2,960. You do the math on what he put in and what he got back. I'm not doing that. Let's see. Made another $1,500 on SMH puts this AM. This is here. Read it. Pause it and read it. Click in the comment section. Copy and paste those in. and use that tool. $99 to make your money back, or $499 to get more trades and make your money back. I mean, I always say it's better to own something. It's better to be able to make money for yourself. This is a way to make money for yourself. D Hicks is doing that. And again, if you watch this, I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe. Stay prayed up. Subscribe. Follow on GS Studios. And yeah, that's a wrap.